Hi everybody, welcome. My name is Jordy and this reading is for Cancer. So let's see what's going on with you today. Connecting to Cancer's energy. Message from the spirit animals. Wow, we have the Strength card with the Elephant. This card says courage and endurance. The Elephant spirit is a remover of obstacles. Whatever you find is troubling you, especially if it's like something from like a deep-rooted issue that may have stemmed from your past perceptions and relationships. You know, the things that have like pushed you out of your comfort zone, off your path, so that you can learn some lessons and discover your strength so you can get back onto your path more powerful and more realized than before. So this is a card that represents memories and the past and family issues and, you know, things that we've learned from our ancestors and from our family members or teachers or friends in this early stages of our life and how they have impacted us, and how you have to have courage to kind of learn from those. You know, they may have created obstacles for you, these things you've learned from an early age. And those obstacles, when you overcome them and move through them, they bring you new strength. So they are gifts. They are a form of inheritance. Let's get some tarot cards and see what we're talking about here today. So we have the Hermit, the Three of Swords, the Keeper of Wands. Okay, Cancer, we have the Apprentice of Coins. This Queen of Wands, Keeper of Wands, looks like a sun energy with that big sunflower there. So going with this theme of developing strength from learned behaviors that we had to unlearn, the Hermit is about seeking healing with the Three of Swords, seeking identity through either removing ourselves or separating ourselves from some type of pattern or relationship dynamic in our life. You needed space away from this family member. You needed space away from this memory. You needed time to seek out the light because the darkness was stinging you. You know, the shadow of this inherited energy was breaking you down and creating pain that you had to face and heal on your own. And there's an energy here of wisdom that's gained from this overcoming this energy on your own. And it's talking about here with the Apprentice of Coins, new growth and new potential from the seeds that have been planted. And I was talking to a friend yesterday, and they were talking about like a proverb or a spiritual verse in the Bible, but I don't know the exact phrasing of it. But basically, the story goes that there's this field of wheat, and the wheat is meant to grow and be a harvest in the fall. But in the beginning of the year, in the springtime, when they're sowing the seeds for all this abundance and growth, the neighbors who don't want, who are evil, or like the shadow, jealousy, the darkness that we are surrounded by, also sows those seeds in the springtime as well. So, and there's this type of plant that grows like looks just like wheat. You don't know it's wheat until its final stages of growth, And then you realize, oh, it's a weed, and oh, it's taking away from the health of the crops. So the metaphor in this energy is that we have all these seeds within us, seeds of sorrow, seeds of potential, seeds of our true self, our true abundance, and seeds of our shadows, of our inherited struggles. And the grace of God, basically, and of our spirit guides and of the universe, Mother Earth, whatever, however perspective you want to look at it, the Creator has given us the opportunity to grow all those seeds, to see what growth comes from, even the darkness, the weeds, the things that we feel like waste our time or take up space, so that we can have this imperfect path, so that we can make mistakes, so that we can see what grows regardless of whether it's good for us or not. Because at the end of the season, when it comes to harvest season, we can separate the weeds from the abundance, from the crops, and you can then remove those plants. Now that they're not these small little unnoticeable seeds in the ground, they've fully sprouted. You can recognize what they are. You can separate yourself from them. You can divvy them out of the field. And then next season, when you've replanted your new seeds, you can have more abundance, more self-realization. The true version of you will come into an even fuller effect. So we don't have any control over our family. We don't have any control over our past, our childhood. We don't have control over what seeds got into our heart. But we do have control over, just holding space for the healing path. And then when these seeds make themselves known as these weeds in our life, we can remove them from our field, So that's the kind of imagery I'm getting here. This work has to be done individually. So let's clarify this energy with some tarot cards. There's a lot of wisdom gained from this process of cultivating all of the seeds that are within your heart. Ooh, we have the Star, and we have the Five of Pentacles reverse. You're finding your purpose, you're finding your path. You are healing as you overcome obstacles and develop this strength, this endurance from the past conditioning. And you're overcoming lack. You're being led to your true purpose, to your true strength, from the experiences of lack that you've had, from the experiences of poverty or abandonment or not feeling worthy or not enough, financial ruin, financial low points as well. It basically allowed the starlight in this dark period of your life to shine brighter, so that you can seek out, with this Hermit card, that light. We have the Ace of Cups reverse and the King of Cups reverse. This is about finding what sustains you on your own. Finding that source of inspiration, that source of fulfillment and emotional value and worthiness. This is about seeking out to fill up your own cup so that you can be master of your own emotions, so that you can love all the parts of yourself, even the parts that grew into weeds, you have control, you have mastery with this King of Cups here that you are heading towards, or that you're embodying right now, of what is going to be fulfilling for you, what is going to nourish you. We have have the Eight of Pentacles, clarifying the Three of Swords, and the Three of Swords coming out again. What's interesting, what I'm getting from these two Three of Swords is like in between periods of heartbreak, separation, and sorrow, during those times when the seeds are still sprouting, you don't know if they're wheat or weeds yet. You know, when you're just living your life and you feel like things are growing, things are changing, but you don't see the results of the decisions you've made just yet. Like, think back a couple of years from now, or think back to where you are right now, where you're kind of in an in-between stage. During that time, you're developing skills. You're developing your knowledge. You're learning with this Eight of Pentacles reversed. You're, aligning yourself to the work that you truly want to do in between good and bad results in your life. It's like that in-between time is sacred. It's not always about experiencing good results in our life, and it's not always about dealing with the bad results. It's about that time in between as well. We have the wisdom of the Queen of Wands, the Keeper of Wands here, and then we have the Lovers reversed and the Knight of Pentacles reversed. All these energies right here are speaking of having experienced loss, heartache, or misfortune when it comes to romance and love. When it comes to trying to be yourself in a relationship, when it comes to picking the right people, or even just being on your own for a long time. In that time, between heartaches, heartbreaks, separations, you did have moments to yourself with that Hermit where you were developing knowledge and skills and working on your career, perhaps even. Because it's all about finding that work that's fulfilling for your heart, for your soul with these two cards here, so that you can make choices and come into alignment with the right relationships when you are ready. Let's see what's growing with this Apprentice of Coins. We have the King of Pentacles reversed and the King of Swords reversed. There are a few relationship dynamics here where you may have to decide whether to cultivate or cull them. You may have to decide whether some of these relationships in your life are supportive of your growth, or whether they are taking up space without being supportive, with being a drain on you instead. It's like you've allowed a relationship dynamic in your life grow. You maybe even allowed a career pathway grow. And then you realize, once you start seeing the fruits or the lack of fruits from your labors, that this isn't something you want to keep cultivating. So it's an interesting message today, because it's kind of saying, have endurance, keep going, you're overcoming obstacles. There's all these different seeds of intentions that were planted in your early days. You don't know what the fruits of those labors are going to be, whether they're positive or negative, but you're being guided through these seasons of growth. And you're able to cultivate new seeds every time your harvest season produces the good and bad results, you know? And there's learning happening here. And there's also self-discovery, skills and knowledge development, learning to fulfill yourself along the way. Failed relationships as well, but also learning what it is that you want to attract. You know, we've got the King of Cups reversed, the King of Swords reversed, the King of Pentacles reversed, the Knight of Cups reversed. These are all suitors that didn't work out, or even business opportunities that didn't work out. But the Lovers here, you have to make a choice to come into alignment with what your soul is attracted to, with what your level of wisdom and experience is compatible with this Keeper of Wands. I feel like you're in this Queen of Wands energy, whether you're male or female, and you're going to attract the King of Wands energy, whether they're male or female. Someone who has the same spark as you, someone who wants to support you and support your wisdom and work on things together. They don't need to have their own enterprise, although they may have it. They want to come into union with you so that you can support each other and have shared goals, shared commitments. That's what the King and Queen of Wands is about. Your lifestyles are attractive to each other. Okay, that's what I've got for your reading. Thank you for being here, Cancer, and I'll see you again soon.